Okay then, hi everyone, I'm Chris Saxon. I'm part of Stephen Feuerstein's Oracle Developer Advocate team and part of the offline answer team for AskTom. So welcome to this afternoon's, or this morning, depending where you are in the world, SQL Office Hours session. I'm really excited today to have Jeff Smith, Product Manager for Oracle SQL Developer and SQLcl, join us, and he's going to talk to us about why SQLcl, the new command line tool, is brilliant, awesome, and you should be using it as opposed to SQL+. You with us, Jeff?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we've got you. So I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. Anyone's got some questions, put them in, and I'll pass them over to you. In the meantime, you able to take it away, Jeff?
As soon as you stop sharing.
I should have. Okay, stop sharing. Yep, there we go. All right. So hopefully you can take control now.
Let's find out. Yeah, we're good. So my name's Jeff. You can just call me Jeff. It's only that Jeff if I'm on the internet where I have to compete. Or have to compete with other Jeff Smiths. So, all right. I'm not really here to tell you why you should be using SQLcl versus some other tool. What I'd like to do is show you why you might enjoy using SQLcl. And hopefully at the end of this, everyone will come away with a good understanding of what the product is, how it works, what it might offer you in your day-to-day interactions with an Oracle database. I'm a pretty informal speaker, and this is called a Dev Jam office hours type thing. So if you want to raise your hand and ask a question, there's only about 20 of us on here. Feel free to interrupt. Or if you want to just type a question into the chat, I'll keep an eye on those, and Chris is going to help me keep an eye on those, and we'll cover those as we go. So I have a few slides, and then I'll jump straight into demo, and I'll try to sell you on this in just a couple of minutes. This is my contact info, by the way. Sorry. If you want to send me an email, jeff.d.smith. Otherwise, I'm pretty easy to find online, I think. So let's go into the history books a little bit. We had the user-friendly interface, or UFI or UFI, back in the day, and then that was rebranded with version 5 of Oracle. That's when SQL+ got its name. We had a graphical user interface version of SQL+ for Windows that lasted quite a bit. There was also a web-based version of SQL+. But to be honest, I never used either of those. I always just used the raw SQL+ binary that shipped with the Oracle Home, and that's still what I use. And then what seemed like a long time ago, or seemed like just yesterday, but it's actually a long time ago, 12, 13 years ago, SQL Developer launched and started as Project Raptor. Larry decided he didn't like that name. He wanted to give it a cool name, so Oracle SQL Developer it was. And then version 1.1 had the worksheet where you type your interactive, queries and scripts, and that's when we put in our first version of a SQL+ style script engine. So we started supporting some SQL+ commands back in 2007. It was about a year after that, Oracle stopped shipping both iSQL+ and the Windows GUI with 11G. And then our team thought to ourselves, hey, maybe we should see if we can do everything SQL+ does, but bring the game up a couple of notches and bring some features that people really liked in SQL Dev to the command line experience. And that product, which is called Oracle SQLcl, I wanted to call it SQL++, and I was told, no, we can't do that. So SQLcl it is. The CL stands for command line. Again, very creative names we have here. That was released in 2016. So it's not really a new product either. It's been out for 3 years. It's officially supported by Oracle. So if you have a support contract on an Oracle database, you can open service requests, log bugs, log enhancement requests on SQLcl if you'd like. All right. So back when SQL Plus came out, this was rated one of the top cars by Car and Driver. I forget which magazine I got this out of. And this was what was going on in pulp culture back in 1985. I'm happy to say The Goonies is still a good movie. I introduced that movie to my kids last weekend. They loved it. So I'm old, but I'm not that old yet. Top show on television was MacGyver. I still like that show, but I don't think it's aged as well, unfortunately. Oh, I've already got a question.
Hey,
So
so
he's still using SQL Plus. Does SQLcl have the same or more features? I'm going to say more, Holger. It's got more features. And I'll get to the demo in 10 seconds. I usually do way too many slides, so I apologize. So just a little bit about our team. The SQL Developer code base is shared in lots of different products. So what you see in the GUI, a lot of that same code is used in SQL Developer Web, SQLcl, REST Data Services, SQL Developer Data Modeler, JDeveloper uses some of our code. Some of our code gets uptaken in the developer cloud service. But we have roughly 5.5 million users that we know of around the world. And we do quarterly releases now. So every 3 months, you get an update on all of our tools. So I'm going to be showing you version 19.2 of SQLcl, which will be available end of this month, beginning of next month. It just depends on how release calendars sync out with the holidays and stuff. So let's just come over here. Chris, can you see the window?
yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Can you make
So
it a little larger, or is that?
Yeah, let's make the text larger. So I think most of us recognize this style of output.
That's easier to read. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. Now, I know some of you have children. Some of you might have grandchildren. Imagine approaching them, young teens, maybe young adults, and say, hey, all of these nice things I have that you see, this career that I've had for 20 years, it's all thanks to Oracle. How would you like to jump in the Oracle boat? And they go, yes, Mom, yes, Dad, that's awesome. Let's do it. And then you sit them down and you show them this, and they go, what the hell is that? No, thank you. My poo emoji won't even show in this screen. I can't deal. So one of the core features of SQLcl is the ability to have your output automatically formatted. So let's actually just look at this command, set SQL format. Of course, now that I've made my screen bigger, we have, let me see if I can fix this.
Just a comment come in. Can you make the font a little lighter color as well, Jeff? Or
the green's no good? All right. I am a sucker for making people happy. So.
Complete. Ooh.
Oh God, I clicked the wrong thing.
Nice.
I usually do this on my Mac. Select. Where'd the color pickers go?
It's on the last tab, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I have to pick on colors. Yeah. Black, yes. Screen text. You said lighter, so I guess we can just do white on black.
There we go. Cheers.
Okay, help. Oh, great. Help set SQL format. No, you cannot have a lighter color. I apologize. I don't know what's wrong with Windows at the moment. So maybe the top tip and trick that Chris shares on his SQL Daily Twitter account, which I recommend everyone follow, is he shows how to get CSV output in SQL Dev and SQLcl. So this is one of the things you can do, and SQL Plus actually supports this now. I think they added it in SQL Plus 18 or 19C. But we also support these other output formats. And one of these is called ANSI console. So if I say set SQL format ANSI console, and then I run that query again, we automatically grab the output per page and smart print it to the screen. So if your page size is 10, we're going to do a fetch of 10 records, measure the size of each column, and then dynamically fit that for that page. Then we'll go to the next page and we'll do it again. So if you see strings of all different sizes between pages, when you page through results in SQLcl, you'll see the column widths change. I tell people that's how it works because if you need a fixed width, or if you see a slight performance hit, that's because we're doing that client-side shaping. If you want to see how you get started, I kind of came in the middle to this. I apologize. So you launch it just like you would SQL+.
We're losing you off the bottom a bit there, Jeff.
I know.
Yeah, it's all right.
So the connect string is the same as it's always been. Add DB.
So it's exactly the same as SQL+, basically, just a different...
Exactly the same. And we support TNS names and LDAP and all that stuff. Now, I kind of glossed over a primary benefit. Here we go. So it's a 20 megabyte, give or take, download. You don't need an Oracle home. You don't even need a TNS names file if you don't want one. So if you're at a customer site and you need to get up and going quickly with your database, you just go to OTN, download this, unzip it, and you're good to go. As long as you have a Java runtime engine on that machine, you're good to go. So you don't need an Oracle home. You don't have to mess with the registry. You don't have to set environment variables. None of that. You can just launch it. All of the commands are available in the help. The help built into the product. There's actually documentation on Oracle Docs as well. The commands that we've added above and beyond what SQL Plus gives you, we highlight in the help. So you can see some of those commands highlighted there. They might be new to you because you've never used SQLcl before. Most of them are self-explanatory, but I'll demo some of these.
So if we go back to the formatting, we've had a question from Sven come in. He's saying he's hoping for the with clause formatting option, although he understands that you don't see the need. I'm not sure exactly what
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what it means either. So Sven, can you help us a bit out? What exactly you're looking for this? Oh, he's given us a link. I'll find out what that is. Well, and you can. Okay, so it's a way to easily generate a query. Okay. Turn your data into selects from dual, basically, Sven.
Oh, you want this to be the output format? So one of the benefits of this tool is you can actually build your own output formats. So I'll show Sven later how he can code this himself.
Okay, that would be fine.
You just have to learn some JavaScript or any of the languages that the Nashorn engine supports. So you could do Python or whatever floats your boat. Let's look at another format. So set SQL format, JSON formatted. So I don't think humans ever need to look at JSON, but apparently some do. And so here's a format you can use if you'd like. I can say set SQL format. Let's do delimited. I want pipe hat pipe delimited output. Crazy, right?
Your own custom CSV, essentially.
Yeah. Or I'm one of those crazy Europeans that don't think the C stands for comma. It stands for semicolon, right? So set SQL format delimited, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, so there's your European-friendly CSV. We support the login script. So set up your environment just like you would in SQL+, put these settings in a login, and when SQLcl starts up, it'll look for those files, and if it finds them, it'll run it. Like I said, we support TNS too. So if I say show TNS, like here's where we're looking for TNS files. Oh, we found one. Here are those entries. I wonder what this is. TNS ping ORCL. So I'm 57 milliseconds away from that instance. Surprise, it's running on my computer. So we added TNS ping. We added Oracle error message lookup, so the OERR command is in here. Select star form bad ERR 923. Oh, perfect. or boom boom 923. There. So not all of the error messages are in here, but the SQL and the PLS ones are in here, and I think also the listener error messages are in here.
Okay, so we've got a question come in. What command is timing, and what exactly does it measure?
I don't know. That's a SQL+ command. Timing. I have no idea. I've never used that, but I think that's a SQL+ thing.
It's not highlighted, so.
Yeah. I feel like I should know that, but I don't. That shows you how important it is to me. I've never needed to use that. So we have the output formatting. We also support spool. So if you need to export something and send it to someone who's in Excel all day, you literally do the same thing you would do in SQL+, spool imp CSV, and then write your command and spool off. One thing that is different is the way that we determine where to write files. So we implemented this crazy new command called CD, and it actually allows you to dynamically change the SQL path. So you can say, I want you to read and write from this directory instead of from wherever I launched it from. I launched it from /home/Jeff/crazy, but all my scripts are over in /home/Jeff/desktop. I can just say CD, Windows, so desktop, and then now I can say spool. Let's actually do this first. Set SQL format, JSON formatted. Set feedback off. Set off. Spool locations JSON. Select star from locations. Spool off. And if we look at I need a faster Windows machine. If I look at my desktop, that file should be there.
Locations JSON. Indeed it is.
Yeah, and it's formatted the way I want. I always make myself laugh when I'm happy and surprised when something works. I should feel more confident, but it's a computer, so who knows what you're going to get. All right. So probably the output formatting is folks' favorite feature when they see this. But like I said, SQL+ supports the CSV now, so maybe that's not so revolutionary. We also have the insight feature that people really like in SQL Developer. So I can say select star from EM tab. So tab completion will bring me back a list of things that we think you might want to select from. So I'm going to say imp where tab, and now I'm getting a column list. Where Sal is not, no. Set SQL format and see console. Set page size 200. So there's all one page. There's my output. Now, what is this imp table? So everyone knows the describe command. It's ancient, and it really tells us just the basics, right? So column names, their nullability, and the data types. So we decided to improve that. We created a new command called information, but just like describe, it's shortened. So you can type information or you can just type info. Let's look at the locations table. This is going to scroll off the screen because my thing's too big. Go up. So we tell you much more about this table or any other object supported by describe and info. So the name of the object, how fresh the statistics are, what statistics we know about, is it in memory, what are the comments on the table itself, and then the dump of columns. So the first thing that we'll show is if you've got a primary key, that column is marked with the asterisk. You still see the data type and the nullability. We also show you default values, and you also get column comments. Then below, I'll give you a list of indexes and also a list of foreign key constraints. Now, if you'd like to see column level stats versus comments, you can also say info plus, and we trade out the comments for stats. Yeah, so here you can see low value, high value, and whether or not histograms are collected. If I used a smaller font, this would print on my screen better, but I'm going to let you guys use your imagination. Oh, CLS is not a SQLcl command, but I made it one. You can make your own command. So alias list CLS. All CLS does is a bang CLS. So when I type CLS, it automatically does a host CLS. There's a command in here called sessions. So sessions, that just runs a session report for me. I don't know what dates does. I could do alias Chris equals select hello Chris from dual. So be much more creative than I, please. Much more creative than I. And these aliases support binds. So I could say alias hello equals select message from dual. And I could say hello there. Hello. Hi, Jeff. It is me, Jeff. Oh, what other commands am I forgetting about? Oh, history, of course. I mean, history is a big command in SQL Dev, and it's been there forever. In SQLcl, we keep a history, and it's persistent between sessions. So I can access the history two different ways. I can use the up and down arrow keys, just like you would, in Bash. And by the way, now that this is in the buffer, I can use my arrow keys. I know, it's crazy, right? I can use the arrow keys in the editor to change this. I don't want star. I want higher date and
So you're still getting the tab completion there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
I
nice.
don't care about Sal is null. I care about com is null. I can also just type history, and it shows me everything that's in the history. So if I exit SQLcl and come back in, I'm going to see the same list of queries.
So it persists your history across.
Anytime I've ever ran SQLcl. So I can see history is enabled. I can see we've blacklisted commands. A show, the history command itself, a connect, and a set will never show up in the history. So if I type connect Chris/password at ORCL, I won't be able to go through my history and see passwords that I've typed in before. Those are blacklisted. Help set history. I can say set history limit 200. And now it's going to keep a max of 200 statements in the history. And that, it's not just statements, it's also scripts. So I can say begin dbms output put line hello. Set server output history. And there's number 36. You can also say history 36. And that puts it in the buffer. Control R is the short code to automatically run. All of the SQL Plus commands are still valid too. Like the change command, I could do C/, I could change the line to 2 and say, change out hello for goodbye if I wanted to. I don't like doing that. I just use this.
Certainly a lot easier.
Yeah, but you've been using SQL Plus for 30 years, so you've got the other stuff hard coded to your brain. That stuff will still work. What else am I forgetting? Oh, DDL is a fun one. I'll let you guys guess what DDL does. So this invokes the DBMS metadata package to generate the DDL for an object. And if you haven't used it in a while, it takes a bit to warm up. So you have the transform options for the DBMS metadata package. So you can say set DDL storage off, set DDL segment attributes off. You know what? That's good enough. And then say DDL locations. And it should come back without the storage bits and without the other bits. Yeah, so that's a lot skinnier DDL. Of course, like I said, we support spool. So it's just, it's very easy to write scripts to generate scripts with this. You could export a table by doing a DDL and then doing the set SQL format insert and having all of that if you'd want. And, you could loop it and capture it for a whole schema if you wanted to.
Very nice, an easy way to export your whole DDL.
For dev environments where you have reasonable amounts of data, yes. Otherwise, use data pump, right? Or use the tool that makes sense for the job at hand.
Absolutely.
I was gonna let's see what we can do to help. Is it Sven? I already forgot his name.
Sven, yeah.
Yeah, with the So SQLcl custom export format. So we have client-side scripting available, and we've exposed a lot of what SQLcl can do with some Java code. But if you want, you can find some stuff that Chris Rice and I have put together on the internet and you can copy it and reuse it if you'd like. So Chris wrote one. What is that? Single format card. That'll catch it. Nah. The original Tom liked looking at data in a card format, and so you can use JavaScript to output the format any which way you want. We've got an example of that too.
So you can invoke the JavaScript engine to do pretty
Yes.
much whatever you want. And
anything you want to interact with the output, to dynamically generate input. Let's see, there's a GitHub project for that. Oops. Yeah, so yeah, here's that card output format. It's pretty basic stuff. Even I can manage to hack this code and make it do what I want. So I think you could get your with stuff. It would just be extremely expensive for large data sets, I imagine, but you wouldn't use it for that, I guess. Here's a fun one. No, he's got one in here that takes all of the files in a directory that you're in and loads them as blobs to a table. So you can do some cool stuff in here. I want to show one more. I don't have SQL Dev open up yet, do I? Let me pay the price and open. I just rebooted my machine before I started this. There are some reports in SQL Developer that people like. I'm just going to show you how you can easily bring those in here. Dev bounds. While that's running, let me give you a preview of what's coming here in a couple of weeks. So we've extended the Liquid-based open source project to have much better support for Oracle, and it's built into SQLcl. So for doing change management, for doing continuous integration type stuff, if you want to version your schemas and deploy them and deploy deploy version X of the schema in this new environment, this stuff handles that automatically. What we've done if you're familiar with Liquid-based already, what we've done over top of that is we generate all of the code for you. So we can look at a table or a schema and generate the XML that represents that schema in the background. So you don't have to worry about writing your upgrade scripts anymore. You just do the work to your objects and then say, hey, go do a capture or a gen a schema or gen an object change log, and then go deploy it somewhere, and we handle all the deltas for you.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
Question come in. Do you also plan on migration with FlyWayDB, or is it just Liquid-based for now?
It's Liquid-based. Yeah, we looked at both, and we went with Liquid-based.
So no plans to do others, or?
I say, why don't you try what we gave you first, and then you get back to us and ask for more. They all have their pros and cons.
Yeah. Okay. We've also got a question about the CTAS command. How does that work?
It works quite well.
That's good to know.
So I'm sorry, that was too easy. Let me get off my train of thought, and then we'll go look at CTAS because it's nice. Okay. So we ship all these reports. Actually, no, let's just get a query real quick. Select star from DBA data files. So one of the features we have in SQL Dev is this ability to ask the database what the query is behind. So it formatted it. Darn it. Let's just do this then. We built a formatter into SQLcl too. This is boring. I was trying to paste a 10,000 line thing in here, but apparently I screwed that up. Why is that not? Edit, copy. Fine.
Is copy paste not playing ball?
No, first 3 rows only. Format, buffer. Yeah, so there's that SQL statement formatted. So if you paste in someone's ugly code, you can just use the format command to make it pretty. You can also use this to format files and entire directories worth of files if you'd like. Okay, so CTAS, create table as select. Let's do locations and create something called locations, copy. This generates the code for you to run this. It doesn't actually run it. So in the buffer right now is this command. And we don't run it for you because we figure, well, maybe you want to change it. Like, for example, I don't think this will work because the constraint name, there's a collision there. So I'd have to change that if I want to keep that. So it wraps the DDL for the object with the select star from on that object. And I might want to add a where clause to the table. So that's what CTAS does. It just tries to save you a whole bunch of typing.
Very nice. Make it quicker and easier. Just on the liquid base, Sven's asking when's that integration coming?
19.2.
So soon.
So soon. Hopefully before America celebrates its birthday, but it might be a couple days after.
Cool.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that a whole lot because it's kind of a big deal. Because versioning and schema maintenance for database applications has always been a pain for Oracle, and we've never really given people a really nice answer for that. So this is the beginning of trying to give you guys a good answer for that. So we're starting in SQLcl, and eventually it'll make its way over into the GUI products.
Cool.
I don't.
So
yeah.
you're formatting it. Is that a fixed formatting rules that it follows? Can you define your own? How does that decide how to format the code?
Yeah, so you would set it up over here in the GUI. And export this as a file. And then, what is that? Yeah, once that file's there, you would just say format rules and give it the file name, and then it's going to be using the same formatter rules that's in your GUI.
Cool.
I want to show one last feature that you might like, and then we'll just do pure Q&A, and if folks want to leave early, then that's cool too. We're all busy. So let me go back here to my GUI. There's a sessions report. People, top SQL by CPU. Let's do that one. And let's pull the query out for that. I still use this for most of my coding. I just, I don't know, makes me more productive. So we're getting the first 500 characters of the most expensive queries. And let's do fetch first 10 rows only. Make sure it works. Yep. All right. So let's say alias top SQL equals that. Let's try it. Top SQL. Yeah, 500's too many, right? So $50. Almost. That's painful. Oh no, not one more time. I'm gonna make it. It's this big font that's messing with me.
Yeah.
Which is great for demos, but horrible for real world. I'm hitting Control R, by the way, which says automatically run what's in the buffer. Top SQL. All right, that's close enough. Let's say you've got some sort of test running, and it's firing a bunch of stuff onto the database, and you want to see how that's going. We have a command called repeat. So I can say repeat 10 times 3-second interval. Let's do 5-second, 2-second intervals. So it takes whatever is in the buffer and it repeats it over and over again. So every 2 seconds, it's actually clearing the screen and running that query again. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Vanished on you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can create your own little database monitors with this. You have a query that spits stuff out. Maybe it's checking DBMS long, or it's checking $V long ops for like creating an index or running stats or something like that. You could write a query that pulls that out and then say, okay, well, let's just run this over an hour and check it every 2 minutes, and it'll do that for you.
That's neat. So you can get like a little performance monitor just in SQLcl or whatever you want to check what's going on. Yeah, that's cool.
So just quickly before we end the recording, we have a real product page. Just Google Oracle SQLcl. It should bring you here. I have a more formal video demo here if you want to show this to your coworkers. Got magazine articles. Of course, you know about the blog posts and the how-tos. The docs are in there. I'll show you the downloads. I said 20 megs. It might be like 21 or 22 megs now. The liquid base is going to bump that up a little bit, 21. Yeah, so I think it'll be 25 megs. That's still a lot easier than any instant client that you can get. Okay, everyone, so just really quickly, if you want to reach out to me with questions, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me in my inbox, if I can type here. And I've got how-tos and demos and all of your facts already answered there on my blog. Thanks, Chris, for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. This was great. Thanks everyone who's out there coming to join us. If you have any more questions, like I say, follow up with Jeff, or you can reach out to me and we'll help out. And hope to see you all next month for some more SQL talk. All right?